Hello dear students, today we are going to continue our talk about brain. Our theme today is memory. Open your books at page 40. Let's start with vocabulary. Listen to the new words. Repeat them and write them down in your vocabularies.
Absorb information. Acid. Antioxidant.
Attention.
Beneficial. Blood flow. Boost concentration.
Decline.
Enhanced.
Function. Fundamental. Identify. Loss.
Memory capability. Physical capability.
Radical.
Skill set. Visualization.
Now, exercise 1. You are to fill the words. Let's listen and check.
Brain food. Turmeric. 1,
Antioxidant.
2,
Loss. Turmeric is a yellow spice that contains curcumin, an antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties. Curcumin may slow memory loss in people with Alzheimer's disease and can help new brain cells to grow.
fatty fish. 3,
Acids.
4,
Decline. Fatty fish such as salmon, trout and sardines contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are used to build nerve and brain cells. In addition, they can improve memory and mood, and may even slow age-related mental decline.
pumpkin seeds. 5,
Radicals.
6,
Function. Pumpkin seeds contain antioxidants, which protect the brain from damage from free radicals. They are an excellent source of zinc, magnesium, copper, and iron, which are nutrients required for optimum brain function.
Now you are to use the completed table to talk about one of these brain foods. Listen to the dialogue as a model.
Do you eat any of these brain foods?
Yes, I eat fatty fish. We have salmon or tuna at least once a week in my house. It's very tasty.
It's also great for your brain. It can build new brain and nerve cells and improve your memory and mood.
Did you know eating fatty fish can also slow down age-related mental decline? I think it's amazing how eating this one food can benefit our brains so much.
Can you think of other types of food that can help improve your memory? Let's look at the model.
Dark chocolate and blueberries contain antioxidants that can improve your memory. Nuts can prevent brain disorders and can improve concentration.
Exercise 2. You are to read the title and the first sentence of each paragraph. What do you expect the text to be about? Listen to the opinion.
I think the text is about memory and how we can improve our brain function using different tips and techniques.
Now let's read the text. Exercise 3. You are to match the sentences to the gaps. There is one extra sentence. Now let's check. Number 1 is B. People with these abilities are very rare, however. Number 2, F. For example, if you needed to buy celery, herbs, apple, rice, and muesli, you might use the acronym CHARM. Number 3. If that sounds a bit complicated, try chunking instead. Number 4. E. It needs regular exercise and new challenges to stay strong. And the last, D. A good diet containing brain food like oily fish, walnuts, and green tea is very beneficial, as is regular exercise, which increases blood flow to the brain. Now let's watch the video.
Do you remember? Let's take a look at a few ways you can help your memory. Mnemonics. Mnemonics is a skill set that helps your brain remember. One of the techniques is the use of acronyms. For example, if you needed to buy celery, herbs, apples, rice, and muesli, you might use the acronym CHARM. For numbers, you could try the major system. Every number has a consonant sound associated with it. Vowel sounds can be added to make words. So a long phone number, like 724603861, becomes Canary Shows Movie Jet. If that sounds a bit complicated, try chunking instead. Break the number into smaller parts, 724603861 is a lot easier to remember. Brain exercises. Just like the body, the brain needs regular exercise and new challenges to stay strong. Try solving maths problems in your head instead of using your phone's calculator, or learn how to cook, knit, speak a new language, or play a musical instrument. Diet and daily habits. A good diet containing brain food, like oily fish, walnuts, and green tea is very beneficial, as is regular exercise, which increases blood flow to the brain. Proper sleep is also fundamental. When you're sleeping, your brain is still absorbing information and organizing your memories. Getting a good night's rest also boosts concentration during the day. Concentration. Many of us claim to have a bad memory, but the truth is that we probably aren't paying attention. In our fast-paced modern world, the words of 18th century English author Samuel Johnson still ring true. The true art of memory is the art of attention.
In exercise 4, you are to match the words in bold in the text with their meanings. Physical, bodily. Beneficial, advantages. Attention, concentration. Skill set, a variety of abilities. Enhanced, improved. Visualization, the act of forming a picture of something in your mind. Fundamental, vital. In exercise 5, we are to remember word formation, affixes, prefixation, and suffixation. Fill the correct form of the words in bold using the appropriate affix. For example, mnemonic techniques are a good way to counteract the effects of poor memory. Let's look at the words produced from the word act. Now you are to finish this exercise yourselves. In exercise 6, listening, you are to listen to an interview with a neurobiologist. For questions, you are to choose the correct answer.
Hello and welcome back to the show. If you're in secondary school or at university, I expect you're in the midst of revising for your end-of-year exams. It's tough to remember all that information, so stay tuned. Because with me now is neurobiologist Rachel James, the creator of the Musical Memory Mini-Course. Welcome, Rachel.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's great to have you here. I'm particularly interested in chatting to you because I have a terrible memory.
Well, that's not the way I see it. I'm of the opinion that no one has a bad memory. We can all train our brains to remember.
That's great news for me. So, can you tell our listeners what memory has got to do with music?
Everything. I'm sure you know there are a variety of mnemonic techniques for helping us remember things. Chunking, memory palaces, and acronyms are just a few. Some of these techniques work really well for some people, others not so much. But don't you agree that music is universally easy to remember?
You have a point. I can still remember all the words to songs I heard when I was in primary school.
Exactly. All of us know the lyrics to hundreds of songs without even having tried to learn them. So why is it that those dates you need to remember for your history test won't stay in your head? The first reason is connection. When you're trying to remember a date, all you have is the number and nothing to link it to. Song lyrics are linked to a beat, a tune, the sound of instruments, and even emotions in our brains.
So, how does that knowledge help our struggling students out there?
Well, there are some simple ways they can make connections. Link the information you're trying to remember to the room you're learning it in, a photo you have on your desk, or a song you're listening to. Then, in the exam, picture the room or photo, or remember the song. The information you want will be connected to it in your brain.
That's fascinating. Have you got any other tips?
Of course. Another thing about song lyrics is that they rhyme. A rhyme is like a clue that gives our brain a hint about what's coming next. If you're poetically minded, consider adapting your notes to form rhymes.
And if you're not a poet?
Then another sort of pattern can help you. What does music have apart from a tune?
A beat.
Right. The beat is another reason songs are so easy for us to memorize. So when you're looking over your notes, create a pattern in the way you say them. Of course, with all these techniques, repetition is key. It's better to revise for 10 minutes 10 times than to sit down for 2 hours straight only once.
There are some great tips there, Rachel. What can our listeners do if they want to find out more?
Just go to my website, www.racheljamesmemory.com, and check out the Musical Memory Mini Course. It's a short course with 5 modules, and all the teaching is done online. It'll tell you all you need to know to do well in your exams.
Great! Well, thank you for the valuable tips you shared with us today. Musical memory certainly is interesting.
Thank you for having me.
Let's check. Rachel says mnemonic techniques have varying degrees of effectiveness. Both speakers agree that the memory of lyrics lasts for a long time. In order to remember historical dates, make associations between the dates and objects. Rachel suggests students employ rhythm and rhyme when reviewing their notes. Rachel's course teaches people about how to improve their memories. Exercise 8. How can we improve our memory? Which memory technique is the best? Why? You are to use information and your own ideas to ask for or express opinions. Listen to the model.
How can we improve our memory?
Well, we can do brain exercises or try to eat brain foods and try to get good sleep at night.
I'm of the opinion that mnemonics are very useful too.
I take your point, but I prefer using music because it helps me to recall lots of information. Would you agree that it is the best technique?
That's not the way I see it. I prefer using acronyms to remember things. It really helps me organize information into the right order.
I see what you mean. I suppose it depends on the individual. Do you eat any special food to help you?
Well, when I'm studying, I try to snack on nuts and fruit. They boost my concentration.
My thoughts exactly.
Exercise 9. Your task is to use the internet and other resources to find out more information about another memory technique. You are to prepare a presentation. Look at the model and listen to it.
Spaced repetition memory technique. Do you ever find that you learn something new in class, but have forgotten it by the next day? This can happen often, and so the best thing to do to improve your memory is to frequently review and revise what you have learned. This technique is called spaced repetition. At first, you may need to revise the same thing over and over again, with a short space of time in between, for example, a few hours or a couple of days. But over time, you can leave larger gaps in between each time you revise it. However, it's important not to leave it too long, or the memory will start to fade away. Studies have shown that when we don't recall and revise information frequently, we eventually forget it. So it's important to keep the information fresh in your mind by revising regularly. A good way to recall information is by making flashcards. You can even color code them and add pictures. Having flashcards will make it very easy to just grab your cards and review information quickly and easily. Just remember that it's better to spend a short time each day reviewing things you need to remember, rather than sitting down and spending all day revising. So next time you have to study for a test, why don't you see if this technique works for you?